We'll need power, obviously. I'm going to actually connect the power lines from here to here so that the incinerator's on board. And then, do I have zoning on the outside? No. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of that. Let's get some office zoning here and actually dezone a tiny scooch of it over here. And then, hopefully that populates quickly because that way my power will connect that way and everyone will be happy. Okay. That's the incinerator for garbage. We will need another big hospital sort of way over here. Nepful! Hey! Thanks for the sub! We want the crematorium a little bit more central because it doesn't have quite the same range, so we'll put it there. Fire department can be here and still reach really, really well. Police department over here. Now our income is dropping a little bit. Hey, I got an achievement for the safest town. Income is dropping a little bit because the maintenance for all these things is pretty high. But they will balance back pretty quickly. And we'll get a high school over in this area as well. Like that. We just have to grow these areas maybe a little bit more. We'll need to get some public transit in relatively soon. But let's go ahead and keep growing our area as is. I don't think these things are lined up exactly the way I would expect. And I will check Skype in a moment. So my apologies to everyone who just checked their own Skype. It's an oil plant, not an incinerator. Thank you very much, Biffa, who's apparently watching the stream. They look the same. There we go. That's good. Didn't want it to go into disastrous garbage zone, because that can back up and be a real problem to fix. Because what it does is it triggers... Having an overflow of garbage triggers an overflow of sickness, which triggers an overflow of disease. Or of death. Yeah, these blocks are not the right length. It's fine. Wow, these upgrades are bing, 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 bing. And then all that contributes to a lot more traffic as well, if you get all those overflows. What happens to my tree line streets? I'm not using those. I'll have to go back and upgrade later. Let's do another office zone over here. You have no water. Really? You have no water. There you go. Looks like they're crying. I got a tear because I'm thirsty and I can't have anything. Traffic here should be great. I mean, it's not a full city block, which is part of it, but it should generally be okay. And relatively self-sustaining. I mean, I'm hoping people work near where they live. Maybe they don't. Maybe I'm a fool to think so. The commercial areas will need some shipment from the industrial. So now, again, we get the thing of, do we hook up these areas with roads? We know it can cause a lot of traffic. But maybe? Let's go ahead and give it a try. So I'm hoping... I mean, right now they're sort of forced to use the highway, which has pros and cons to it. But let's say we do something like this and see what happens. We can build more of these little things too. Like, this is actually doing a pretty good job for a lot of traffic over here. Why don't we do a little bit more of that? Well, I think... Well, no, they might use it. And having these extra little off-ramps doesn't seem to slow down the traffic that much. Oh, I think we might have a hard time getting it to... Oh, there we go. Yeah, it might force people to not use this lane. I think they will indeed avoid the right lane. Yeah, you can see them right here. Trying to merge out of the way right away. God! Cars, don't do that! You don't have to avoid that lane! It's not bad for you! You can drive right through. Now, having that right after an on lane, I'm a little concerned. Maybe it will cause a bit of a bottleneck here. I think generally it'll be okay. But yeah. We'll see. Anyway, bing, 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 bing. Demand is relatively flat. Okay, let's go ahead and build some of our parks here. Because obviously we need a little of that. Oh, yeah, let's build another fancy building. Wow. Bam. Let's see how much that does. What was this called? The High Interest Tower. Very nice. Expensive as hell, even to maintain. Parks are so cheap. Like, parks basically cost nothing. Compared to those buildings especially. And they probably do a better job. On the other hand, oh, there's a little crematorium there, so we can't put it there, but I could put it here, I suppose. On the other hand, these do attract tourists, which is another source of income. You don't have water over here? Oh, that's sad. You go and do one of those first. And with the intention that I'm going to potentially populate this area here and do that. Right now, it looks like a little bit more commercial, so we'll go ahead and do that. I might want to avoid having too many stops right here. Doesn't seem to be a problem right now. Let's go and do that anyway. And some of that. And some of that. Some people are going to live right underneath the highway. It's not very pleasant. God, this building is huge. It's insanity size. Traffic here is manageable-ish. If need be, these could be one-ways. One going one way, one coming the other. So far, it's not too bad, though. The fact that the roads are so long really helps to cope with some of the bottleneck possibilities. We could connect over here, but I think that would be a mistake. I don't know if there'd be a big win. Well, you know what we'll do. Especially if we do the one-ways. Because some of these guys might use this as a way to get to the highway. Now, would that be so disastrous? I'm not sure. Especially if we get them to come in over here. Oh, a little bit of a derpy curve there. That's annoying. But if they come in over here, they can... Oh, no, that's an inn. We actually don't have a nearby exit to the highway. Although we could. Gomin! Thanks for the subscription. So this is a highway that goes leftwards. No, this goes to the right. We could offer this up as another way for people from this end of town to get out to the highway. Yeah, still something like something. Would that break things? Oh, what happened to the ground here? Hang on. Unacceptable. Every now and again, it does bother me. We're going to go and go up right away. Ah, it still did it. This is why, it's stuff like this that I think is why it's hard to plop down the pre-made intersections. Is because sometimes the land warping that is required to get these roads to work is a little surprising. So this might increase traffic along here, and in fact at this end of town as well. But, as is, all these people who want to leave town, I don't think it's gonna accumulate things, because it'll only sort of be people in this area here that will go here for that off-ramp. Most people will still be using these highway connections over here. Which I still think this raised highway system is generally cool, and one of the reasons I keep building raised highways most places. Highway connections in and out of our city is totally okay. One thing that we're lacking here is the three-way split, which we could do. There's some pollution coming on over here, so I'm not sure that we want to. But, whoa! But if I did take a split off this way, then it'd be a three-way split. But there's never going to be a lot of demand over here, so that's not going to make much of a difference. Whereas here, it's a much better example. There should be a pretty even divide between people going in every direction. So, that's good. Okay. Population is rising slowly, but it is rising. Are we on straight? No, let's take the straight tool. Now, one thing I could do to boost population is go back and rezone this as high density, which I probably will do at some point, but I'm just trying to avoid it a little bit. Still got some demand for commercial, so what I'm going to do is pop out over here, like that, and a little more, and a little more, and actually zone that as commercial. Traffic between our little neighborhoods is not too bad at all. Can't complain too much about that. Whoa! Oh, we've got sickness over here. Dead people. Why are the dead people not being picked up? First, let's check the pollution map mode. Make sure there's nothing weird going on over here. And there isn't. Let's check the health care, the actual health coverage. Everything is green, and I believe that's a big hospital there. Now, there might be some internal traffic issues. Or these bottlenecks here. Yeah, that's what's going on. That's why we've got a backup. Everything is stuck in here. Because everything is only used in the middle lane. Look, middle lane, middle lane, middle lane. Only the left lane. Okay, and here people are trying to get on. Oh, see, look at this. Everyone is moving into the left lane where people are trying to get on. Why are you doing this to me, game? You can no longer do that. Instead, if you want to go, if you're traveling east and you want to go into the north town, you have to go somewhere else. We're going to create an independent system just for you. Maybe on the other side of all this. Actually, that might be the win. If we did something like peel off of here. Again, what's going to happen here is people aren't going to use the turning lane as a straight, which means there's going to be a lot of back and forth over here, which is going to drive me bonkers. But we're going to go here, drop it down this way, and just try to do the merge from east to north way in here. That's the way you have to go if you want to go that way. Now, is that just going to create stupidity over here? Well, if people want to go from here into down there, which a lot of them do, there's a pretty crazy crossover. Because they have to cut across all the lanes of traffic to get over there. Maybe this left-to-right thing is not good. But another possibility is we don't connect to that highway at all. It'll be a little hard to scooch in under here. What if we just do this? How crazy is that? Completely crazy. Let's not do that. They don't use the lanes. And the more on and offs you have, hey Pastry Princess, thank you for subscribing. The more on and offs you have, the more of this dumb behavior you end up with. Traffic going nowhere. They need to use these lanes. And they explicitly don't. Look, they're not using this right lane, they're not using this one. And this actually makes things worse. Because of this behavior, this makes things worse. I can't do these left off. In real life, that might be a really, really good idea. But in this, it's no good. Here's how we're going to have to treat these guys. Is we're going to have to make sure they never make... We never have a left turn off. Because that will mean they can at least use 2 lanes to drive in. Right, like here, they're still merging. Maybe because they want to get over there. No, really, you can drive in this lane. Alright, these guys are driving that lane, so that's good. Hopefully these guys, yeah, now they've corrected themselves. They will start to drive in the leftmost lane. Okay. We can, however, have them come in on the left. That works. So we don't have them leave on the left, but coming in on the left seems to be okay. Would that be good? No, we don't want to encourage anyone to go straight through there. And there's no one from here is ever going to want to go there. Oh, but yeah, they are still acting like dirt. Why is everyone getting in the left lane now? Why are all these people getting in the left? Let's change this to a single lane, first of all. That way all these guys will naturally come in. Sure. Oh, well, okay. No, they're still... Now they're using the left too much. One thing I can say is that these intersections were a little too close together, so we don't want that. If we're going to have it connect up, we're going to do it a little bit further away. We can't really go there. There. Something like that. Alright.